fascinating. Am I at risk of being replaced by AI?
Yeah.
I
Uh,
say,
mm,
I say, absolutely,
absolutely.
I could be replaced. What the work I
Uh,
do, absolutely.
mm,
If companies, um, well, let me put it this way: the work I do deals with unique or exception cases for insurance companies.
mhm,
Asbestos, mold, looking at estimates that the vendors are doing.
mm,
All right, because the vendors are independent. They may not follow the exact same rules as the insurance carrier. And the adjusters aren't as well trained as they used to be. So if it's a big case, they may not have the ability to say, oh, is that $50,000 correct or is it not? Well, again, with enough aggregation of data from all of these examples that are worked on across, all the files, you could, again, train, you could develop algorithms, use artificial intelligence to sort through these things and at least identify the 80%
okay.
of what's happening. Doesn't meet guidelines. What I do, I think could be trained for a system to do. The problem that carriers have is there sufficient volume of these across all of them to spend the money on it. It's
Okay.
not low-lying fruit, Anand. It's
Yeah.
something that
Yeah.
will take time and energy.
Yeah.
What the carriers could also do to eliminate my work tomorrow.
Oh.
They change their policies through regulators to not cover
Hmm.
the things that have to be reviewed. For example, no asbestos coverage, no mold coverage, no hazardous materials coverage,
Yeah.
a limit on the amount that water damage mitigation companies could be paid. They
Yeah.
could legislate my work
Right.
out.
Right.
Is that going to be politically correct? Who knows? But
Yeah.
that you have to think of, can it be done? Well, certainly.
Hmm.
There could be an agreement in the industry that certain vendor practices are made uniform.
Right.
It's to everybody's benefit.
Yeah.
That would eliminate a lot of my work.
Oh,
So
okay.
I have to, staff development, certainly. If you train staff to do what I do, and I only learned it by being trained on, it would eliminate the need to have to outsource it.
Right. Absolutely.
So
Okay.
really, there are ways to do it, but is there an appetite for it? Is it easier to pick the phone up and call Pat and H2M and say, "Oh, could you look at this?" And the marginal cost of us doing it versus the loss of productivity of them having to learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to choose this. So, absolutely, I
Hello. Hello. Yeah.
hello.
Yeah. I can hear you.
Okay, you're still
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
Okay. Do the carriers have motivation to innovate? The lower frequency task, it's not cost effective necessarily. Do they? Here's a big one. Do
Okay.
they want to take some of these unique cases where there's hazardous materials or there's something a little controversial? Do they want to have that protection of a third-party review? So in case there is a question in litigation, a third-party review takes that in-house proprietary look out of it. You're saying, well, you didn't want to pay the claim, so you had them deny it. No, we asked an engineering company to look at it, their uniform practices, and their conclusions told us. So that's a big piece, whether or not you want to have the liability. And some policies require the involvement of a third party.
Okay.
You can't, for example, appraisal in the U.S. If you can't agree on things, the policy says you must choose a third party.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure in India there are similar situations where there's a dispute and the regulation of the insurance industry says, well, you need to go to an ombudsman. I don't recall what the other phrase is, but so.
Right.
So there, it could be replaced, but I don't think the appetite's there yet.
Okay.
The next,
You still got your job.
the next one, Yes,
Okay.
well, for 5 or 6 more years, and then I can
Okay, great.
retire.
Okay, great. Okay, fine. So,
I,
yeah.
I